Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Gretchen Rossi says RHOC cast admitted to being afraid of Tamra Judge, the cancer of the show. Tamra Judge has been a hot topic all season, and it's not just viewers that are outraged at her behavior. The people who know her best have also been chiming in and dragging the Real Housewives of Orange County star on social media. Most recently, OC alum Gretchen Rossi joined Tamra's former bestie, Vicki Gunvalson, and they had a lot to say about her antics. Gretchen didn't hold back while chatting about the 57-year-old, even calling her the cancer of the show. The blonde beauty revealed that she's in touch with many of Tamra's cast members who've admitted they're afraid of the RHOC star. Tamra has never been one to bite her tongue or go against anyone, even her friends. Shannon Beater is learning that the hard way this season, as Tamra has set her sights on the 60-year-old. Viewers would have probably sided with Tamra when she called out Shannon for still consuming alcohol after her DUI arrest, but that wasn't the case. Shannon already had a lot on her plate dealing with Alexis Bellino and John Jansen, and no one wanted to kick her when she was already down. That is, except for Tamra, who viewers believe has taken things too far. Gretchen joined Vicki and her co-host Christian Grey on the latest episode of My Friend, My Soulmate, My Podcast, and Tamra was a hot topic. Gretchen noted that Tamra's strategy is to draw attention to other people's drama to distract from her own life. She knows how to play that game well, said the RHOC alum, who noted that Tamra is a producer's dream because she's willing to do and say anything, and is only loyal to her paycheck. I've always said Tamra's like the cancer of the show, reasoned Gretchen, adding that the other cast members can't be their authentic selves because of her. Gretchen and Vicki continued their chat, noting that Tamra's castmates fear going against her because they don't want to be on the receiving end of her venom. I feel like those women, 'cause they said it to me, are afraid of her, said Gretchen. Some of them maybe aren't, but the ones that I've talked to have said that they are. The RHOC alum reasoned that it's not good for the show if people cannot speak their minds due to fear of retaliation. You're never going to have a truly authentic show when you're afraid of somebody like that, added Gretchen. Gretchen Rossi, the former star of the Real Housewives of Orange County, RHOC, has never been one to shy away from telling the truth, especially when it comes to her old nemesis, Tamra Judge. And now, after years of explosive feuds and behind-the-scenes drama, Gretchen has dropped a bombshell. According to her, many cast members admitted they were afraid of Tamra, even going so far as to label her the cancer of the show. In a recent interview, Gretchen opened up about the darker side of RHOC that fans never got to fully see on camera. As she sipped her coffee and casually flipped her signature blonde hair, she leaned in, the smirk on her face revealing a mix of vindication and disappointment. Tamra, she began, pausing for emphasis, was the reason a lot of us were always walking on eggshells. Whether people want to admit it or not, she had this way of getting into your head. And frankly, I wasn't the only one who felt it. According to Gretchen, multiple cast members privately confided in her during their time on the show, revealing their growing fear of Tamra. There were days, she recalled, when we'd be getting ready for a scene or about to go to an event, and the conversation would shift to, what's Tamra going to do today? Who's she going to throw under the bus this time? The stress of constantly being on guard around her was palpable, and it wasn't just Gretchen feeling that way. Vicki, Heather, even Shannon. At some point or another, they all expressed to me that Tamra's manipulative tactics were exhausting. It felt like no one was safe. Gretchen went on to explain that Tamra had a knack for creating chaos and turning people against each other. She's the kind of person who thrives on drama, she said. If things were calm or if relationships were starting to mend, Tamra would swoop in and stir the pot. She had this ability to twist a narrative in her favor and make you question everyone around you. It was like she got some thrill out of watching friendships implode. But it wasn't just the mind games that earned Tamra the fearsome reputation Gretchen described. According to Gretchen, Tamra had a calculated approach to maintaining her power on the show. She knew how to align herself with people when it was convenient, she said. She'd be your best friend one day, then throw you under the bus, the next if it meant she'd come out looking like the victim or the hero. It's like she was playing this long game of chess, and none of us realized we were just her pawns. Gretchen's voice grew more animated as she recalled specific instances where Tamra's behavior left her and others reeling. One time, I remember she went after me so hard, out of nowhere, and afterward, I found out she'd been planting seeds of doubt about me to the other women for weeks. She'd say things like, "Oh, Gretchen's being fake," or, "She's just doing this for the cameras." By the time I walked into the room, everyone was already on edge, thinking I had some hidden agenda. And that's just how she operated. The former reality star went on to say that she believes Tamra's actions had long-lasting effects on the group dynamics. She was like a poison, Gretchen said, her tone turning serious. She spread so much negativity and division among the cast. People were afraid to speak out against her because they knew she had a way of spinning things. And if you became her target, forget it, you were done. It was then that Gretchen dropped the most damning allegation. "I'm not the one who coined the term," she said with a knowing smile, but more than one person referred to Tamra as the cancer of the show. She was the one thing that, if you removed it, the whole environment would have been healthier. I know it sounds harsh, but it's the truth. She brought out the worst in people, and it was toxic. While Gretchen acknowledged that the drama made for compelling television, she expressed frustration with how much was orchestrated by Tamra behind the scenes. "Don't get me wrong, the show is built on drama. That's what makes it entertaining. But when one person is constantly manipulating the situation to make sure they come out on top, it stops being fun and starts being draining. After a while, you just get tired of it." Gretchen wasn't the only one who felt this way, she claimed. According to her, several cast members even considered quitting the show because of the stress Tamra caused. There were definitely moments when people were ready to walk away. I remember one conversation where someone literally said, "If Tamra's still here next season, I don't know if I can do this anymore." That's how bad it got. The constant drama, the fear of what she might do or say next, it was just too much for some people. Reflecting on her time on RHOC, Gretchen admitted that she's glad she's no longer part of the toxic environment. "I don't miss it," she said with a shrug. "I loved being able to share my life with fans, and I made some great friendships along the way. But the constant drama, especially with someone like Tamra around, wasn't worth the emotional toll it took." As for whether she thinks the show can survive without Tamra, Gretchen was candid. "The show will always evolve," she said. "There's always going to be new drama, new faces. But I do think, for a lot of people, getting rid of that toxic element could actually give the show a chance to breathe. It might even allow for more authentic relationships to develop, instead of everything being driven by one person's need for control." In the end, Gretchen Rossi's revelations about Tamra Judge paint a picture of a cast member who ruled with fear and manipulation. And while some might argue that Tamra's antics made for must-watch TV, it's clear that, behind the scenes, the impact of her behavior was far more damaging than fans ever knew.